I'll give you two examples of where this problem-solving approach didn't work for me. One at home and one at work. And then the rest of my time is going to be specifically focused on how this relates to you. I've had the chance to connect with a lot of you over the last couple of months, and I think we're going to have some strong resonance around some of these dilemmas. But let me start, just to illustrate the concept, with a couple examples. I'll start at home, because I remember when my partner Becky and I were expecting our first, we were kind of blown away by the amount of unsolicited parenting advice people offered us. People gave us books to read, stories, studies to review. We thought, this is great. We're going to be a sponge and just learn as much as we can. But there came a point, I would say probably about 5 or 6 months into Becky's pregnancy, where it got a little frustrating, because it felt like people wanted you to pick their side. And if I was to simplify the sides, I'd say, we had the flexibility camp on this side. You would give me books and studies that would show that that little one's DNA coded to be unique. Your job isn't one-size-fits-all parenting. Your job is to find what works for them and kind of modify your approach around that, and make complete sense until we talk to the next person or read the next book. You would, talk about the Ferber approach and sleep cycles and consequences. You'd say, hey, at the end of the day, that little one needs structures in place from the youngest of age. That's what they need if they're going to become a well-adjusted, teenager and young adult. There was a point where Becca and I were like, what side is it? We decided actually to put the books away, and we decided to have a party one night. We said, let's actually invite a short list of parents that we admire. So we fought it out in terms of who that list would become, but we finally landed on a short list. To our amazement, they could all come. And when they arrived, we were introducing them to each other, and we said, you don't know this, but you kind of got invited here tonight with an agenda. So they're just weirded out by us at this point. But we said, listen, I told them about our list. You were top of our list. I said, all we want this evening is to hear when you've been winning as a parent. That's it. I don't want to hear what you've done wrong, what you do differently. Just tell us stories when you've been winning. Well, it started slow, but then one story led to another, and it was fascinating. It went on well past midnight. People left, and Becky and I were debriefing the evening, and we said, what was fascinating about the night was that no one gave us the answer. We wanted the answer, the formula, the 5 habits or the 7 steps. Nobody gave us the answer. And yet when we heard stories all through the night, whether it was years as a family or one event with one child, it almost felt like every single story pointed to the same big idea. We have been at our best. We've been winning when we haven't been structured or flexible, when we've been structured and flexible. And what worked with this kid didn't work with this kid. And what worked with this kid didn't even work the next year. This is not a problem to solve. This is a tension to manage. And we're at our best when we can lean into that, not avoid it, not ignore it, but learn to manage it well.